Right, we need to talk about PETA, P-E.T.A, not just my name, but gee, this gets me fired up. In the new guidelines from the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, there you go, they've got an acronym there, they hijacked my name. They say referring to other people as you're a chicken or you're a pig or you're a dog or you're a goose, I like that one in terms of politicians, they now say it's unethical. Well, let's get into Words Matter with our resident wordsmith here at Credlin, author and broadcaster Kel Richards. Now, does this mean, Kel, I can't say to you, you look as fit as a Mallee bull. I've said just then I can't call politicians a goose now. Is that where we really are at with these rules?
Well, of course, the rules themselves are linguistic lunacy. The idea that you can't compare people to animals says nothing about the animals. What these people don't understand is how the language works, basically. The English language is built on metaphors, being able to say something is like something else. And the metaphor stops referring to what it originally did and just works by itself. Let me explain. I mean, that sounds a bit complicated, but let me explain by giving you an example. Take the word sinister. Now, it means, a sense of danger. We say this situation is a bit sinister. We have a sense of danger. But it comes from a Latin source word that meant left-handed. And the reason is a left-handed man could be shaking your right hand and stabbing you with a dagger in his left hand. Right? So it started as a metaphor, but it ceases to be a metaphor and just becomes an ordinary word. Now, things like saying someone who you dislike intensely as a rat or someone who's gluttonous as a pig, we've been doing that for almost 500 years. So when Jimmy Cagney in a movie says, "You dirty rat, you," he's not thinking of animals. He's saying nothing about animals. He's just using a word which we use to apply to human beings. So these people, I don't know what it is, how they imagine the animals' feelings are going to be hurt because they heard someone refer to, Jimmy Cagney say, "You dirty rat, you." But it's the language works by doing those comparisons, and the word ceases to have a reference to what it originally referred to. So why don't they do some research before they come out with these things?
Yeah, what interests me though, I mean, PETA is an activist organisation. It doesn't have the status of a international body or a government entity or anything like that. I know when I type my name into something, it automatically capitalises it as if I'm talking about this activist organisation. How do they get so much power, an organisation like this, with our language and even trying to decree what we can say now?
Well, I think their attempt to decree that won't work. Prescriptivism very rarely works. The nice thing about English is it's the most democratic institution on earth. What the people decide to do is what happens. So their prescriptive attempts won't work. I wonder the same thing you wonder. How do very small activist groups, whether it's PETA or Black Lives Matter or anyone else, get the power that they do? I worry that sometimes it's our profession, the profession of journalism, that pays too much attention to them. Sometimes I wonder if it's simply the really old principle that it's the squeaky gate that gets the oil, and they just make so much noise and irritate so many people that they're very hard to annoy. They're very hard to ignore. They're very good at annoying, but they're very hard to ignore. It could be something like that, but their power over language is really very limited because of the democratic. This is where lobby groups don't matter, parties don't matter, caucuses don't matter. People decide when it comes to the English language. What people use is what the language is. So they can come up with their rules, but they'll be whistling in the wind.
All right, and it's such a salient reminder to all of us is not to give them the power, particularly with our tongue. Kel Richards, thank you for your time.
Talk to you again.